AITA for paying my stepson's college tuition but not my biological daughter? I am 39. Had a kid with my ex-girlfriend when we both were 18, but I have never really had a close relationship with her. Her name's Darla. F21. Darla's mom and I broke up before she even found out she was pregnant, and although she insisted that I was the father of her baby, I always doubted. I know it's a possibility, but also there's a possibility she's not my daughter. However, I was pressured by my parents to give her my last name and paying a small amount of childcare, which I wasn't even paying myself because I didn't have a job at the time. As I said, I never really had a relationship with Darla, but I would see her every once in a while when she was in my parents' house with her mother. Darla's mom hates me for whatever reason too, so that made our relationship even more distant. When I was 25, I met a woman, F38, in college. She had a 4-year-old kid, Brian, at the time. After dating for some time, we got married and we have 2 more kids together. I've raised Brian almost his whole life, as his own father wasn't in the picture, so I consider him my own son, and he also consider me his dad. He's going to college this year, so I paid completely for his education. However, Darla's mom got very angry when she found out because I haven't done the same to Darla. Apparently she's going to college this year too, as her mom didn't have enough money to pay her tuition and she had to work to pay for it. She had put some of my own family against me, and now they're calling me an asshole because of my favoritism towards my son. I think it's obvious that I would pay for his tuition because I did had a relationship with Brian. But not with Darla, but maybe I should have helped her. YTA. Massively and flamingly. If you're so sure your daughter is not your daughter, why didn't you get a paternity test when she was born? Oh, I know. Because you know perfectly well that you are her biological father. And you didn't want proof of that. Better to claim doubt as your reason for failing to step up for your kid and leaving her 18-year-old mother to raise her alone. Clearly even your own parents don't believe this. She might not be my kid, BS. If your family is against you, that's your doing, no one else's. I did had a relationship with Brian, but not with Darla. I find myself utterly unimpressed by your use of the passive voice. You chose not to have a relationship with your daughter. No one forced you to abandon her. You chose to do it. Darla's mom hates me for whatever reason. Gee, I can't imagine why. Edit. If all you're going to do is double down in the comments, then why did you even bother with this post? Clearly you are determined to let yourself off the hook no matter what people tell you. I'm starting to think you're a troll. YTA. You deny your daughter and wonder why your ex hates you. If you really doubted she was your daughter, you would have a paternity test. You ever wonder how your daughter feels about this? About having an absent father who practically denies her existence while playing doting dad to his stepchild? Did you even want a relationship with her? Because obviously your parents have a relationship with her? YTA. You could have had a paternity test when Darla was born. You could have paid more to care for Darla and gotten a parenting plan to allow you to spend time with your daughter at any time. You chose to pay a minimum amount of child support and make excuses about your daughter. I can see why Darla's mother doesn't care for you. You decided to play dad to a child not your own. And she worked to make sure your daughter had a relationship with your parents, her grandparents. But you didn't bother. Wow. Maybe you can grovel a bit and try to establish a relationship with Darla at some point. You made a baby, but have spent the last 21 years doing the minimum. Did you pay child support once you started working? If not, wow, that really makes you in awe. YTA. The fact that you never bothered to find out for sure that she's your kid or not alone makes you an asshole. There's tests that you could have taken years ago that would have prevented this argument, but you just didn't. This is just icing on the cake. It feels like you're punishing Darla because you can't punish your ex. You not having a relationship with her is also a problem with you and your ex. I feel bad for Darla. Why doesn't your current wife have any issue with you abandoning your first child? YTA. YTA. For not getting a paternity test to verify that she's not yours. Especially since you seem to want nothing to do with her. Did your ex cheat on you? YTA. For bring an absent father to your daughter. She's yours until verified. YTA. For not treating all of your children equally. My father abandoned me and your negligence in all these aspects are damaging. You're definitely top. Darla's mom hates me for whatever reason. Oh, it's clear there are many good reasons. YTA. YTA. You abandoned your own child. Of course you're an asshole. So because you were a deadbeat dad it is okay to favor your stepchild? YTA. If I was Darla's mom I'd hate you too. She didn't keep your daughter away from you or your family. You had an opportunity to be more involved in her life, but you chose to have minimal involvement. YTA. 21 years and you never got a paternity test, come on. That makes me think you knew it was your daughter but you didn't want anything on paper to prove it. You've barely paid anything for your actual kid. But paying for college for your stepkid? Can see why your ex hates you. YTA. And a deadbeat father. YTA. If you had doubts this was your child, you could have had a paternity test. The reality is there is a chance it is your kid. And you legally signed up for this to be your kid. It isn't your daughter's fault that you and her mom weren't close. You have a responsibility to your child. And you have failed miserably. While being happy to be a father to a different child. YTA. You choose to parent a child who is not biologically yours but never wanted to parent a child who is your own flesh and blood. Wow. You really don't see the problem here? Darla's mom hates me for whatever reason too, so that made our relationship even more distant. For some reason. Your comments and your post make it very clear why your daughter's mother does not like you. YTA. Need more info. So you were pressured to give the kid your name and pay child support without involvement by the government? Is there court-ordered child support? Are you on Darla's birth certificate? Why have you never got a DNA test? Did you try and it was resisted by the mother? YTA. You don't have to be in a relationship with the child's mother to have a relationship with your kid. Instead of actually figuring out if your doubts about her being your daughter was true with a paternity test, you shut her out of your life and did nothing to be there for her. It's your job to develop a relationship with your child, not the other way around. And now you're using the fact you're a deadbeat to your firstborn as an excuse to not help pay for college. Why exactly did you not have a relationship with your biological daughter? Or at least confirm you are or aren't the father. YTA. YTA. Darla's mom hates you because you were a deadbeat dad. I wasn't ready to be a dad isn't a valid excuse. It doesn't matter that you weren't ready. You don't get to skip away and leave her with all the responsibility financially, emotionally and physically raising your kid. Darla is yours and you should have manned up and taken responsibility for your actions. If you were so set against it you should have confirmed paternity. Your doubts about paternity aside. And seriously, it's been 21 years. If you actually had doubts you'd have done something about them by now. This is your kid. You're in a position to help. And actively chose not to. YTA. YTA. You had a child and didn't take care of her. You chose not to have a relationship with your daughter and not be in her life. That in itself is an move. You were man enough to get her pregnant, yet not man enough of take care of your responsibilities. You say that you don't know she is yours. She's 21 and you've had ample opportunities to get a DNA test. Obviously you do not have a great relationship with Darla's mother, as you're a failure as a parent and she was the one left to should all the responsibilities that should have been yours. You chose to pay for your stepson's college and you've been in his life. Yet you couldn't do the same for your actual daughter? You're a total and you need to at least try to make right for all of your failures.
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. Epic Aircast is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.